In a new assembly, we'll insert a component, clicking on Browse to bring in beam 15. Selecting green check mark will fix the beam to the assembly coordinate system. Now we'll bring in a second component. We'll select gear 40, double click to bring it in, click to drop it, open up the mate tab, and we can actually pre-select our concentric mate, since we know that's what we're going to do. We'll select an outer circle of the gear and the appropriate cylinder for the part. So concentric has been pre-selected, and we'll say add finish mate. We need one more mate to connect their surfaces. So here's the surface of the gear, surface of the beam. By default it's coincident. I'm going to select a distance and set the offset distance to be 0.05. Select add finish mate, and we can close down the mate toolbar, and we can just verify that we indeed have 1 degree of freedom by rotating the gear. Open up insert components again. This time we'll bring in gear 24, a 24 tooth gear. Just click to drop it, and again we will go under open up the mate toolbar. Again, I'm going to pre-select my concentric mate, come in here, I'll select, this time I'm just going to select the round edge, and I will select the corresponding round edge of the beam, and again it just makes them coincident. So again I will add finish the mate. Now again we'll do an coincident mate for setting its offset distance from the beam. Again I will select not coincident but distance, setting the distance again to be 0.05, and add finish mate. Now I'm going to look at the assembly as it stands right now head on, and if I drag the 40 tooth gear, you can see that the 40 tooth gear and the 24th tooth gear move independently of each other. Now I'm just for cosmetic reasons, I'm going to move the two gears so that they are just touching, and now I'm going to close down the standard mates and open up my mechanical mates, and we can see that there is a gear option here. That's what I'm going to select. It's just reminding me that the two gears should be connected to the same housing, in our case beam 15, which we already have. So what I'm going to do now is select the outer rim, or again an edge, or even this outer round surface, but some round surface that defines the whole circumference of the gear itself. So I'll select this surface, and it tells me that I can either choose the number of teeth or the diameter. By default it's selecting the diameter here. I'm going to double click and put in 40 for the number of teeth, and you can see down here under the ratio that it is added in 40. It thinks 40 inches here, but we are really doing 40 teeth. For the next one, and you can see that it's selected here in the mate selections. So now I'm going to select the similar face on the 24 tooth gear. Again, it's choosing a diameter. I'm going to double click and put in 24, and you can see that the ratio here is 40 to 24. Notice that it does say inches. We're going to not worry about that because we're more concerned about the ratio of 40 to 24. Once that's done, I can select my green check mark to finish the mate. I'm going to select again to close that mate window, and if I view it from the end on, now I can see that I actually have a gear constraint between these two gears. Just to show where they are, if I open up here, I'm actually going to switch to line mode just so we can see things a little bit better. There's the gear mate between those two rounded surfaces, and here are the two mates between the 24 tooth gear on the beam, and here are the two mates between the 40 tooth gear on the beam. Let me go back to our shaded view, and there's the gear functionality.